Hi, and welcome back to my channel. This is basically Brandon. So I've been thinking, we have been in quarantine in this global pandemic for a little bit now, and I know that some of the parents that are in my circles, you know, they're starting to try and do some things with their kids that are like craft related or some art projects with them just to keep them busy and keep them interested and engaged. And so I thought today I would go ahead and do some of the crafts that I've done with my nephew, except for one I just kind of came up with, and it's interesting. So I just thought, you know, it would be a good idea to go ahead and show some of these crafts that are easy. It's made from things that you can find around your house. If you can't find around your house, it's really easy to find these things at Walmart or a Dollar Tree or things like that. They're very inexpensive to do. But I actually had everything I needed to do all four of these crafts around the house. So the crafts that I did today, I made slime using flour, water, shampoo, and a few other ingredients, and you'll see that here in a second. I also did a t-shirt as well as a simple art craft that pretty much any age, as long as they can hold an art brush, they can do. And then the last thing was a paper bag tiara crown kind of thing. It almost looks like a Snapchat filter in real life, so if you have any kids who like to get on your Snapchat and take pictures of themselves using the filters, this is like a real life Snapchat filter. But let's just jump on into it. It's gonna be a lot of fun, so here we go. So to begin with the slime, you're gonna need half a cup of water, about a cup or a little bit more than that. I discovered I needed more than that. A flour, some shampoo, some food coloring, some sort of oil. I have corn oil here, and then just a bowl to mix all of it in together. So we'll start by taking the water and pouring it into this little mixing bowl. After you pour the water in, then go ahead and just put shampoo in there. And I just kind of eyeballed it, but I'm thinking that it was probably about 1/4 of a cup of shampoo, between 1/4 and 1/2 cup of shampoo. Next, you're going to mix about 1/2 cup of flour into the mixture. After you do that, then you're going to add your food coloring and then about a tablespoon of oil. Now you'll start mixing this together, and I used a fork to go ahead and mix mine together, but as you start to mix it together, you'll go ahead and start adding more of your flour to the mixture. And like I said, you'll find out that you'll need a little bit more flour than what you initially thought. At least I did, because it got really, really sticky, and then I had to add more flour to make it more slimy. Now before I went ahead and started kneading this mixture with my hands, I did pour oil onto my hands so that way the mixture wouldn't stick to my hands. Unfortunately, my mixture was so sticky that it did still end up sticking to my hands, and that's okay. You just continue to add more flour until this thickens up and doesn't stick to your hands as much. And you'll see that I ended up adding quite a bit more flour to mine, just so that way it would thicken up. Now once it does thicken up, then you can take it and knead it. Most of it will get off your hands, and you can put it into a container, and then you just want to put some saran wrap around it to seal it up, and you'll let it set for about 2 hours. After about 2 hours, you can unseal it, and then you can just start playing with it. This stuff, it ends up not getting on your hands, which is great because I was really worried at first, but it ended up being really good. It was kind of fun to play with. Now for your next craft, we're just going to do a simple painting out of geometric shapes. You'll need a canvas, paint, a brush, and then some painter's tape. So to begin, just take your canvas and you'll just start creating geometric shapes using the painter's tape, and you can just see how I do that. I make triangles out of this painter's tape as it goes across the canvas. Now you may want to go ahead and put a little bit of paint inside of each shape just to kind of guide your kids. When I did this with my nephew, I just let him choose what colors went where.
Now once you have all of your shapes onto your canvas, you'll just take your paint and just paint each one. I did about 3 shapes per color, and I used the same brush just with a clean cup of water and would wring the brush out. Now as your paint starts drying, you can go ahead and start taking the tape off. You can see that I didn't get my tape completely to the canvas with some of the blue paint. That's okay, I just took a little rag and kind of wiped it off, and you'll see the finished product here in a second. It's a really cool little painting for, you know, kids to do, and they can hang it up in the room, and they're going to be very proud that they did this, you know, themselves. This next project is probably one of my favorites that I've ever done with my nephew. You'll need a t-shirt, a towel to go underneath the t-shirt, sandpaper, crayons, and then an iron. To begin this project, just lay your sandpaper directly down and just take your crayons and draw whatever you want onto the sandpaper. Now do mind that you have to do it mirrored so that whenever you do iron it to the t-shirt, it goes on normal. So like I'm doing my name here in this scene, and you can see that I'm doing it backwards, so that way when I do iron it onto the t-shirt, it will come out the right side, the right way. Next, you're going to take your t-shirt and you're going to lay it out, kind of smooth it out, put your towel up into it, and you'll see that I do that here in a second, and then you'll lay your sandpaper face down onto your t-shirt. Next, you're going to take the iron and you're just going to iron the sandpaper for about 1 minute to 1.5 minutes. Once you've ironed it, you can go ahead and peel it off. You can see that mine kind of faded a little bit on the B. I didn't iron it enough on the B. But after that, you are done. I don't know how well this does wash. When me and my nephew did it, I've not talked to my sister since she's washed this t-shirt, so I'm not exactly sure how well it does wash. So if you do wash it, maybe wash it by itself to begin with. For the last project, you're going to need brown paper bags, some of the tops of flower picks, just some of the flowers from the flower picks, and then anything that you would want to wrap around this tiara, this crown kind of thing. To begin, you're going to cut your paper bag, and it doesn't have to be exact, but just kind of cut down one of the seams and then across, and then we're just going to roll this diagonally, and you'll see what I'm doing in the video. You'll do this to both sides. And then take some hot glue and glue it to where it doesn't come back open. Now for your next step, you're going to take one of the sides of the second rolled up brown paper bag, put a little hot glue on the edge of it, and then insert it into the side of the other one. Once you do that, then you can wrap it around to make kind of like a crown shape and hot glue it to keep it in place. Next, you're going to wrap anything that you want to wrap around the crown. So in this instance, I used some of these Christmas pipe cleaners that I had left over, as well as some of this gold garland that I had left over from Christmas. Once you finish that, then you're going to glue the floral pieces from the picks onto the crown, and you're done. That's it.
So clearly this little thing is too big for my head. It's meant for, you know, a little girl. But I'm wearing my little Snapchat filter. But thank you so much for stopping by and checking out my channel. I'm going to continue to upload some content about crafts that you can do around the house, things that are out of my craft stash, maybe some entertaining videos until all this is passed and, you know, places that are closed are opening back up so that way I can go buy more arts and crafts. And hopefully everyone is staying safe. Thanks again for stopping by. Bye.